What do you what do you want people to know about their value, about
Everyone matters. Everyone deserves love. Everyone what? I have a gay son for gay rights. I'm for BIPOC people. I'm for all kinds of political stuff. That includes the love part. I could go on and
Mm.
on. I don't want to ostracize anybody, but this is it's important to me for people to feel good and to feel some love because not everything in this world right now is super lovey.
Hi there. Thank you for listening or watching another episode of Intuition, Your Success Compass. This week is the Business with Purpose episode, and I have Carrie Knudson on. Carrie and I met through TikTok, of course. I loved her energy and her just, this is who I am approach. And then I ordered her product. And when I tell you the firming cream or the sculpting cream, or I can't remember what it's called, we talk about it in the show. It definitely works. It works. And it's they're all natural products, but you know what? The conversation was all natural too, because we just rolled with it. And I told her before coming on, don't worry about it. We're just gonna go with the flow and take us wherever the conversation takes us, because that's what it should feel like. Like you're sitting down with friends, having a conversation, and then hundreds of thousands of us are eavesdropping in. So join me and join Carrie. That should be reversed. Join Carrie and join myself for this episode of Intuition, Your Success Compass, and let us know what you think. And then definitely go get the hand cream. It's amazing. This is Mother of Dragons. I love that one. Oh, and we also talk about why is it called dragon butter. All right. So we will get started.
Okay.
Here we go. So, Carrie, thank you so much for joining me today. I have admittedly followed you on social media for quite a while. Like you, I know that you appreciate energy. Like I feel drawn to people. And like you, I can talk to a fence post. So it's like anybody comes along, I'm happy to have a conversation with. But I felt immediately pulled in. And I want my audience to know you because from that, I'm just going to preface this a little bit and then I will absolutely let you talk.
Okay.
I have also come to know your products. And once I received them and started using them, I'm like, oh, come on. We have to help to infinity people with this too. So thank you for agreeing to do this.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. I love being here with you, and you are fantastic, sister. I'm telling you.
Oh, thank you very much. So give us a little bit of, I've already mentioned that you have products, but give us a little bit about Carrie and maybe a little snippet of the product, and then we'll get into more of that later.
Okay. I am a 53-year-old stay-at-home mommy of a fantastic son who is part of the LGBTQ mafia. And
With amazing
yeah,
hair. He has absolutely amazing
God, we
hair.
love the hair around here. And my sister-in-law, my brothers are much younger than I am. They're in their 30s. My sister-in-law had a baby. And so I wanted to give her a heartfelt gift that I made. And I was a labor and delivery nurse for a long time. I was a nurse for 20 years, most of that labor and delivery. And I wanted to make her body butter so she didn't get stretch marks because no woman wants
Mm.
stretch marks. So that's how I started. I looked up a recipe and I made it my own and I formulated it, got a scent and made it for her. And she loved it. She loved it. So she said, you
Mm.
should make a business. And I thought, okay, I'll do that. I can do that.
That's yeah, I can do that. What do you want? That's how I talk about
Yeah.
organic, right? Like when something happens like that,
Uh-huh.
it is organic.
Right.
I believe it is of the soul.
Mhm.
And it's something that if we're listening and we follow that, just brings that joy that you obviously have with it and that you have come to help other people. So, did you like, you're a nurse, so I don't wanna presume, but did you love, like, the compounding of it and figuring out the formulas and all of that?
I feel like I'm a chemist and I absolutely love science and I love chemistry and I love I love figuring out what the butters will do and the additives that I can put in. And it does help people. And I make such
Mhm.
great relationships with people doing this. And that, woo, is the beauty of what's going on.
So, as our listeners can tell, you're very empathic, and
Mm,
the feeling of, like, being able to help people, being able to I feel like I've always called it being of service, like, I don't think in service is a great thing, but being of service is something that's it is a calling, it is a pull.
mhm.
So, what is the, like, zippity doo dah that you get from just being able to make those connections, create those connections, but then also provide a service? Like, here you go.
Yeah. Well, I had a mom contact me and her son had horrible acne. And boy, I know exactly what that feels like. And I got to use my nursing degree, my just experience in life and all that stuff. And I
Yeah.
got to make products exclusively for him, which are now in my lineup. But it gave me that oomph to really do a deep dive into what can I do for this kid, you know? And it makes me feel so good, you know, if I can help him manage his acne and have him
Mhm.
get some self-esteem that is so wonderful to me and important to me. I that's what I get out of it. It's just I get a high out of helping people. I always had. That's why I became
I've
a nurse. And then I
Yeah.
baby at 42 and I couldn't do the nursing anymore because my husband travels for a living. And
Mhm.
this is the way I can give back to people. This is the way I can love people.
Does it help you love yourself?
Oh, it makes me feel so confident and so good inside and so like I'm loving these people. That's what it makes me feel
Mhm.
like. It's a
Mhm.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. I've joked that I've not ever felt the need or had to do any kind of drug because my contact high
right.
is someone else's joy, and not in the over people pleasing way, which can happen,
Mhm.
like, things can go too
Mhm.
far, but in the, like, feel like what you're saying is that connection that happens, that energy exchange that happens when you have something that you love to do, perhaps you're called to do, or I don't know, it's just fun.
It is so
You
much
get
fun. And I love connecting with people in a deep way. I had a mom that I felt drawn to and just had to talk to her. And I wanted to give her a butter. I just felt I needed to do that. And, you know, she had many miscarriages and she was pregnant and she ultimately had a viable pregnancy and had the baby. And now we're friends. And she
mm.
comes to me, you know, for advice with breastfeeding and stuff. I used to be a breastfeeder teacher. Breastfeeding teacher.
So there's a lot of nurturing
Oh,
in and of you,
very much.
and then being able to convert that and have it be something that, I don't know, gives to the world, but also reciprocates back to you because while I do believe we're of service and that's our a gift that we bring,
Mhm.
we are ultimately here for our soul and our learning. So if we can combine the 2, it's even more of a fun journey. Why dragon butter? Why dragon lady? Why dragon mama?
Okay, so I was raised by my father, and we were very, very poor. So we had a canoe, and the only thing that we could afford was going to the river and fishing. And so that is such a wonderful childhood memory of being with my dad, fishing every night on the river, and all these dragonflies would come by. And It represents my father. I got a dragon, but a dragonfly tattoo, and or
Mhm.
my dad, and the time that we spent ever
Mhm.
together.
I love that. I love that because somewhere in the social media, I missed that, and so I put it down as one of my
Ah,
questions. I was like, I have to know
maybe
because so the process of creating all of this, like, just as an example, this is where my head
mhm.
goes. I ordered a couple of the creams, people, Mother of Dragons, whew, absolutely amazing scent. Oh my goodness, what a scent. I already shared this with Carrie, but I'm considering this my success scent because when it came in, I was like, "Well, man, that's just amazing," and it's silky smooth.
That's
But this is the reason I ordered. I wanted the tinted
mm.
because and I'm really picky about my products. How do you get it in there in the tube?
That's a challenge. I first started working with syringes. So I have these 100 milliliter syringes and I mix it in the 100 meter syringe and then I just squirt it in. And it's a challenge because you can get too much, you can get too little, and then you have to take another little syringe and suck it out or push it back in, you know. But
Mm.
I just bought a filling machine and I'm so excited.
Oh, that's
So I can
awesome.
just pull the lever and it just comes out at a pre-measured thing and it was
Okay. Well, that'll help with production. Maybe that's why my
right.
well, I always wanna know why, but my brain went there when it came in. I'm like, "How does the
Okay.
individual do this?" You
Very
know?
slowly. Lip gloss is a slow process.
Yeah. But it's amazing because it's not tacky. Like, I said the texture of some of this stuff tastes good. I have it on now if you're watching on
Right
YouTube.
on, girl.
Right. Okay. So, what is it that you would like people to know about their skincare, about their self-care that maybe you've learned through this process? You didn't start out to have a skincare company and now you do.
Oh,
But so what can we learn from the research you've done? And now not only the research, but the data and the customers and all that kind of stuff. So help us out, woman. What can
all
we
right.
learn?
Well, I never took care of my face when I was a kid, or a young adult. I thought, "I'll be beautiful forever." Oh, now that I'm middle-aged, I know that's not true. Start early. I I think being kind to your skin is awesome. Our skin needs to be hydrated, which a lot of this stuff is very, very hydrating. Fluffers, I think, are good for our age group. Been in the
Mhm.
40s. I have a retinol cream, which is wonderful. I love it. And I think just taking care of your skin will increase your confidence, make yourself feel beautiful. And if we feel good about the way we look, we can put more love into the world. We can put more positivity in the world. We feel more confident. I think that a beautiful thing
I would
or the
agree.
part of the
I the other part, I don't know. Who's gonna remember what I asked earlier? This is the benefit of my podcast. Squirrel.
right on.
So but what have you learned in helping other people? I'm
Mm,
gonna change the question
okay.
just a
Yeah.
smidge. What have you learned in helping other people that's now helped you take care of yourself?
Oh, honey, I do my skincare every day, twice a day. I really take care of myself. I use these products and I love them. My favorite, oh girl, is this resculpting cream. I had
I
I
bought that.
had little fat pads right here
Mm,
from my eyes and it took care of the little fat pads. It's magical. So I take care of myself so much better than I did when I was younger. I could have cared
mhm.
less when I was younger, but this is really it's important to me now because I am middle-aged, and
Mhm.
I have a 41-year-old husband,
Mhm. Good for
and
you.
I have
Good for
to say
you.
I have to say young and beautiful for him.
Yeah. And how is that translated to you have talked about that, when we feel good and how we look to us, not to the world, I'm gonna add that
Right,
caveat.
to us. We don't have to be pretty
Right.
for this. We have to be pretty for this.
Yeah. Yeah, and connected on the inside. Like, do you feel like that's helped you at now as you step out and you promote your business more and you're, like, wanting to get this product to other people, which is true and which is a wonderful thing, but, as a business coach for some of it, I also think, "Okay, is this a hobby or is this a business?" When somebody, comes to me. So, as you're starting to promote this, do you feel like the better you feel about yourself inside because you're taking care of the inside from the outside, that it contributes to how you feel a as a mom, as a business owner, as a woman of the world? Like, do you feel it's all one package?
Yes. When I take care of myself on the outside, I feel so much better on the inside, and I'm a better mom. I'm a better maker of this product. I'm a better speaker when I speak to these people and try to sell my product. I'm more confident. I feel good about myself. That's another thing. I have struggled with self-esteem my entire life. And this boosts my self-esteem, being able to go to the farmer's market and do this and give people good products, natural products to help them feel good about themselves.
It's it's for me what it represents because there's so many companies out there. There's so many products that we could buy. And it
Like,
probably won't surprise you that I'm drawn in intuitively by what is the vibration of a company. And
girl,
I
thank
can
you.
feel in your product, which is why I asked to have you on.
Yeah.
I can feel in your product like that love, that universal energy, that what some might call Reiki or Laho Chi or so many other practices, it's source energy. Like, I can feel that in there. Are you doing anything
Girl. Okay, listen, that is a super compliment, and I'm so glad that you noticed. I know that sounds silly, but I put my love into every jar of this product. And I say that when I'm making it, I'm putting
I knew
love into this stuff. And that's what I want people to feel. I have my Love Wins t shirt. I am so into love and that love wins and love is awesome. I put say that to myself without making it. I put my love into this stuff. And this is how I can love people. So I had a job where I could meet people reach and take care of them and be friendly with them through their situation. I mean, these were women having babies. A lot of times it was absolutely wonderful. A lot of times it wasn't. But this job gives me the same high because I can still help people. I meet people all the time and they want to know about the products. I do the
Mhm.
media and tell people about the products and people ask questions. Love that. Absolutely love that interchange and that interaction with people. I need that to
Yeah.
feel good. I need that to feel whole, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's something that's not spoken about a lot with, like, small businesses or the entrepreneur life because, like, when I work with people, I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, you have a business. What about you? Like, how is it filling you up? I don't wanna just know about the bank account. I wanna know about your heart." And because if not, it's not sustainable. Like, you have to genuinely, I think, love what you
Well,
do for it to continue on, and it's obvious you do
I do
because when
love
I
it.
opened it.
And I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest, I've quit a million times.
Yeah.
Back. I keep coming back because I love it so much.
And what's the frustrating part? Like, pick one thing, like, why have you quit before?
Oh,
Because other people are gonna identify with this.
okay. Something didn't work out. Like I spend all this time researching, then I make this product and it flops. And
Mhm.
it's a bleh, and it's not, I would never give this to another human being kind of thing. And then I go and I think about it and I retry it It's
Mhm.
it's very really a challenge sometimes. Sometimes it's a lot of work to do the shows, a
Mm.
lot of lifting and, it's very busy and heavy lifting and stuff, and that gets tiring. I've thought, "What?
Mhm.
Nobody likes this stuff. Nobody's coming." I quit.
Mhm.
Stupid. But then the next day, I'm like, "What else can I make? What can I do today?"
Yeah. Yeah. I love that because as humans, like, I this gets by a lot of people, like, every few years, we have within all of us an evolutionary growth,
Mhm,
right? Like,
mhm.
your husband and you have been together over a decade. You're not the same people
No,
who married each other,
no.
right? So and but when we know that and we can get excited about that and we're like, "Okay, what's the next growth opportunity?" Not just in metrics, but within self.
Yes.
I and I feel
I
like the
have
more
to
of us that
believe in
talk about this, that have business. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanna say I have to believe in myself, and that's tough too. I
Yeah.
really have to dig down deep sometimes and be like, "You are really doing a good thing. Come on, girl. You are really smart, and you can these things. You can do this." I really you know, we're middle-aged, and that self-esteem isn't always there, and I have to cheer my
I think that's yeah. I think that's true of any age, because of messaging or families or society and stuff. So the more of us that speak of it, like, make it normal.
It is
Like,
normal. Oh, yeah, I think it happens to everybody. I talk to myself in the mirror like I'm my
listen, I've
best
been in
friend.
business
"Hey,
22.
beautiful, how you
Oh,
doing
go ahead.
today? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna accomplish today?" I know that sounds silly, but it works for me. It does.
I don't that doesn't sound silly to me. That sounds like you're accessing your soul knowledge. And because the soul always believes in us, right? So it's
Oh,
and from a physiological point of view, it's the right brain that says, "This is possible." The left brain goes, "Are you kidding me?" So it's any wonder that we go in circles sometimes, but I love that it's also giving to you
oh,
this reminder that, well, you have resilience and you are smart and you do like chemistry and that is a skill. And that the love of the people is acting as a magnet, it seems, to pull you towards that. And I am also going to acknowledge that your pricing is very generous.
really?
Um,
Yes. Okay. Thank you
I,
for saying that because I have no idea where I'm at in the world on that. I wish I could give it all away for free, you know? But yeah, that's thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Because it for the quality, of course, you don't know when you're ordering something. You hope it's good, right?
Right.
But when the quality came in and I saw how it was packaged and it was the beautiful containers and then the scents again. I'm not usually a scent person, so I'm probably gonna say that 27 times, but you can tell, and I feel like people are becoming more discerning,
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
and,
And
you know, I I have a rule, I don't recommend a product unless I absolutely love it and use it. Like, it's too easy to
right.
get bought out.
Right.
So, what do you what do you hope this business and this extension of your love through products does for the world?
Does for the world?
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna dream big here.
Girl, okay. This may sound greedy, but I don't want it to. I want to be big and I want to be nationwide. And I want
Good.
to people to feel my vibe all over the place. Nurse before I was nationwide then. I delivered babies in Alaska, even the tip top of Alaska and Barrow. Like, I wanna have that same feeling from when I was a nurse that I can help people. I want everybody to feel this love. I really do. And I'm
Mm,
glad that you feel my vibe. That's really what I want to for
mhm, mhm.
really awesome.
Well, I love that expression, "Your vibe attracts your tribe."
Yeah.
I used to have it. I used to have it hanging in my office. I don't know where it went. But that that support system that I think is more and more important in this day and age too. And this year of 24 is all about community and the frequency of it. So having the intention, that's why I asked, like, what do you want it to do? Because, we really, when we have that vision, I think not only will the energy meet it, but then, the connections start to happen and the true connections, not the surface bleh
Right.
connections. And that's what I was feeling too is like to have the capability to share something that matters with you so that other people can believe that they matter.
Right.
Maybe purchasing this for someone or for themselves, but
Right.
it's more than that. It's the ripple effect,
Right.
that goes out in it, and we'll all have really shimmery lips while we're doing it.
Exactly. And really soft skin.
And yeah, it is. I have to say that sculpting things doing lovely things for my
Oh,
neck.
right.
So I appreciate that because I don't have much vanity. Like I didn't really get that thing.
Yeah.
But just this little thing showed up when I was about 51, and I'm like, oh. And I'm like, "Oh," when I saw it on your website, sculpting cream, I'm like, "We gotta resculpt this." The belly's always gonna be there, but I'm gonna bring something up outside of the business because we are more than business people.
Right.
I saw that you were volunteering at a spay and neuter clinic
It's not
or
really a spay and neuter clinic. It's an old man who's been a vet all of his life. He'll be 90 in July. And he's my
okay.
friend, and I absolutely love him. I did some travel nursing, and I traveled to his area in Wisconsin, and I was bored out of my skull, and I met him, and he allowed me to geld his Percheron because I made a sassy statement. I said, "Well, that looks easy. I could do that." And he said, "Get up here, girl." So I did it. He talked me through it, and I did it. And so I proposed to him that I hang out with him and do stuff because I'm a nurse. I know the medical side. And it's just, there's not, it's an animal, not a human, but I could do it. So we would do farm
Yeah.
calls and spays and neuters and stuff like that in his office. So then we lost
Oh,
contact.
okay.
Then I started getting puppies, and I thought it would be a privilege to have Doc Goodweiler spay and neuter my animals. So that's how we got involved with each other. And so he's he's in a wheelchair right now doing vet work. And I said, "Doc, I'll come down Mondays and Fridays and help you." So I drive 2 hours down and we work and we do surgeries and stuff and see animals. And then I drive 2 hours home. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. He's allowing me to do stuff too that I don't think I would normally get to do, which is a
Mhm.
privilege. It's a real
Mhm.
privilege. Yeah.
That's that
And
that
it's a
learning, right? Like
right. And I get to spend time with him. I get to spend time with him because I know he's coming to the end and I really love this person.
mm, mhm.
We've become friends and we talk on the phone just about, we shoot the shit on the phone. Excuse my friend.
You can it's okay. That's okay. It was my
Oh, it's
daughter's
wonderful to
first
be
word,
his
we can
friend.
say
He's
it.
lonely. His wife's in assisted living and, he's lonely. So it's fun.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's to community, right? Like
Mhm.
that
Oh,
feeling of community. I think I've noticed that, like, when I mention the volunteer gigs that I do, and people are like, "Why would you do that?" And I'm like, "You I don't think they get that it's not about pumping up your ego.
right.
It's a privilege
Right.
to be able to help." And I mean that on several levels, a privilege
To
of time, a
participate.
privilege of, you know yeah, to participate, to have the headspace to be able to do that, and the type of life that it will allow you to do that. But the return on the investment to me has always felt like a thousandfold. Like, I know I'm here as a volunteer, but do you know how much I'm getting from this?
Right, exactly. Every time I feel low, every time I feel bad about myself, every time I always do something good for someone else, and that brings me up.
Mm.
And that's the cure for myself to do stuff for other people. And that brings me right out of that depression or right out of that low self
Mm.
esteem. And
Mhm.
helping his work is the word I want to use. It's unbelievable that I get this opportunity to help this man.
Mhm.
It's keeping him
Mhm.
alive. It's keeping him vibrant. It's keeping him going to have a friend and to have a person come to help him with his business.
Mm.
And all I get out of it is just a good time and, do you know what I'm saying? And that was for
Yeah.
myself too.
Yeah. Well, you're helping him with his living legacy,
Yeah.
not a legacy, posthumously, but his lit up vitality,
Oh, yeah.
his service, like, he gets to be of service
Yes.
and use his brain, and, that facilitation that you offer is that, reciprocation of soul energy too,
Mhm.
like, no doubt you guys have a soul contract
Oh,
somewhere
yeah.
in there
He's really
that
a
and
neat person.
yeah, and that part of filling up your tribe, the more variety we have in our tribe.
And I truly believe the person who ends with the best stories wins.
I bet he's got some too.
Or he's unbelievable.
Yeah. So what do you want people to know about their value, about
Everyone matters. Everyone deserves love. Everyone what? I have a gay son for gay rights. I'm for BIPOC people. I'm for all kinds of political stuff. That includes I could go on and
Mm.
on. I don't want to ostracize anybody, but it's important to me for people to feel good and to feel some love because not everything in this world right now is super lovey.
It's not, and it's a lot of the stuff that's not super loving, I feel like is coming from wounded individuals, and they may not be able to hear it. So we can't necessarily focus on why are they doing this or what's behind it. You have to focus on the ones that can be helped.
Mhm.
Maybe that will flow to them. And to some, don't worry about ostracizing somebody. If somebody doesn't want to listen
And
anymore, I bid them farewell. But that intention for all of us, I feel like it's becoming really important for us to identify what love means to us, at least in the moment, because hopefully we grow and it gets bigger and bigger as we expand, and that becomes contagious. Let's have that be the next
amen.
pandemic.
Amen to that.
But then feeling that lit up energy of contribution because it what someone else is feeling, it ought to matter to us. It really ought to.
I've read a lot of Buddhism because of the trauma that I have experienced in my life. I've read a lot of Buddhism, and the man who was homeless, who doesn't have his mental faculties, is just as important as
Mm,
the doctor or the scientist that has all the degrees. They're the same important just because
mhm,
human being,
mhm,
just
mhm,
because they exist.
yeah. If I like to say they were brave enough to take a breath and come in as a human. They chose to do that. We all
Um,
chose instead of making it a they, we all chose to do that,
right.
and it gets
Oh,
exciting to learn, well, what's been your path and what's for you? And yeah, it's true, not everybody wants help, but if you're a helper and you don't lean into people pleasing because we have to have
right,
boundaries.
right.
Yeah, and we can exponentially heal things. So, I'm so grateful that you had the time and you were willing to come on.
Thanks so
And
much for letting me be here.
oh, well, my pleasure. It's not a letting, it's like a get in here, everybody in the pool. I wanna have fun. So how do we get a hold of you? We're going to put links in the show notes, but what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Through the website. I have my site on Wix also. The website is www.dragon-butter. That's where you can purchase through my site on Wix. There's also communication. There's texting on it. You can ask questions.
I love that part.
Yes, I do too. I do too. And you can get information. And I'm always open. I put my personal telephone number on my card. So even if you wanted to put out my personal telephone, I'm okay with it. That sounds great.
Well, we'll let them do the work and go to the website.
Right, there you go. There you go. You can do that. But
I don't want the skimmers to pick it up.
oh, honey, I'm already there. Just see my TikTok, full of scammers. But it's okay.
Yeah.
I can smell a stinker a mile away.
Exactly. Sometimes that gives me a little giggle because it's like, really, you don't think we've caught on to that yet?
I see you. I see you. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mine says intuitive life coach. Like, go check out what the word intuitive means.
Exactly.
I'm gonna know that you're pulling something, and I'm still gonna hope you're okay, but I'm not gonna give you my time because that's valuable. And I'm so grateful that you gave us your valuable time
Oh, thank
and that I found these products because it's been a challenge. Have had contact dermatitis in the past, so I'm picky.
you. Yeah.
And so I am so grateful, and we'll
I'm
be
so happy.
promoting this out for you. Ooh, is there something for our listeners?
Oh, yes. Did a 10% off and I did a code and it's Dragon Egg.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, girl. I will,
It'll
not Dragon Egg, I'll change it to Dragon Egg. How's that? Don't let on after this. Pretty sure it's Dragon Egg.
Okay. Well, we'll put a link in the show notes and in the things on whatever Enrique does his magic on YouTube, so people can just clicky
Right.
because that makes it easier for purchasing.
Totally.
Thank you so much. I
Oh,
truly enjoyed this
thank you
and
so much.
appreciate it. Thank you for listening to this episode of Intuition, Your Success Compass. I appreciate you being here. If you would like more information about developing your intuitive skills, removing those blocks, and creating the life that feels the most successful to you, then head on over to vickibaird.com. That's VICKIBAIRD.com. And check out the courses, the groups, and the Spaces app that will allow you to be part of our community and know about upcoming events and specials. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.